Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 and the second episode of our series now with Barcelona following that nice time at Ajax. And we've had a few games since the last episode where we did beat Leganes 4-0. If we have a quick look at the transfer history as well, you will see there has been a couple of signings coming in. We have Matheus Henrique from Grimau coming into the club. He cost us, let's have a look, £16.75 million. He looks like an excellent central midfielder, really backing up Aouar and Barrow ahead of Sergi Roberts. So really adding some strength and depth to midfield. Just make sure we got these right way around. And then we get Carlos Vinicius coming in as well. He's cost a fair amount of money, £53 million. He's got a really good record out in Portugal, so hopefully he can do the job in Spain as well. I think he's quite a good player. If we have a look at the profile here, I think he's much better than the assistant manager seems to think he is. He thinks he's going to fit way down behind everybody else. But the main reason I brought him in is that we just don't have a lot out strikers here. We only had three, so he comes in really as the fourth striker because Depay and Fati both more on the left wing. So Carlos Vinicius will be the number 4 player, and part of that reason was that Lionel Messi did get injured at the end of the last episode, so he's been out for a little while. But we did, we played the Celta Vigo game in the last episode, so we did play 3 games. The first one was really frustrating. It was a game that we absolutely dominated, all ends up, so it should have been a really easy win, but we just seemed unable to get a goal. And it took quite a long time for them to score, but when they did, it felt like, this is going to be the game that we do lose. And it was Salcedo there. It was another free kick in and then a header and finish. But Messi in the 80th minute, we got a penalty. He put it away, and it was a good point saved. We then beat Alaves 6-1, really coming back from that poor draw to get the victory. And you'll see that though Messi was in this game, went out on the 65th minute. I think it was after this game he got injured. But they gave the ball away to Matvienko. He put it in and Severo gets the first goal, I think, of his Barcelona career. Dembele then out to Roberto, switched across, it's cleared away. Matvienko arrives and he makes it a goal and assist for him 35 minutes into the game. Then attacking down the right, Ousmane Dembele holds the ball up, pulls it back, and Severo cracks in a stunning shot. That kind of finishing is just next level good. And then Griezmann attacking on the right flank, out to Sergi Roberto. Dembele beats the defender, gets inside, and that's a nice finish in at the near post. Then they get a goal back. Martin pulls it back to Poco, and look, that's an absolute scrap before the ball finds its way to Bergi, who does get one back for them. But Severo gets his hat-trick from the penalty spot. Got quite a few penalties so far this season. And then Skriniar makes it 3 goals for him this season with a good header. We then played Cadiz at home at the Camp Nou, where we did manage to get a nice 3-0 win. Antoine Griezmann did miss a penalty 15 minutes into the game. He struck a post and it went out. But a minute or two later, Barrow put the ball in and Memphis Depay with the header getting his first goal of the season. Then Aouar, edge of the area, out to Matvienko. He plays it across and Dembele couldn't get the goal in, but Severo with the finish over the line. And then Fati scores an excellent goal here, picking it up from the halfway line, taking it past 2 defenders, and then past the keeper, Zidane, for 3-0. So a really good start overall to La Liga, other than that 1-1 draw against Levante. But it does mean we are 1 point clear of Atletico Madrid with a game in hand, and Real Madrid 10 points from their 5 games. If we win today, we go 6 points clear of them. So we have also had the Champions League draw. We'll take on Legia Sofia in the first game. We've also got Porto and Chelsea. So next episode we'll probably pick up with the Chelsea game. Maybe do a double header for the next episode of those 2 Chelsea matches, given they're going to be our real opposition in the group. But we'll start off today with this game against Real Madrid. Now unfortunately Messi still injured. He's out for another few days. Not quite fit enough to be risked in a El Clasico. Certainly not my first El Clasico. So we've got Griezmann and Severo starting out up front. I'm going to swap them around actually, so we have them in their favoured position. Then we have Memphis on the left with Dembele out on the right, and Aouar and Barrow both starting in the centre. Then it's Matvienko, Umtiti, Skriniar and Roberto in defence, with Ter Stegen in goal. So we've got a few players that we can bring on. Carlos Vinicius is one of them. If it would let me give him a number, which it doesn't seem to want to because there are no numbers available for whatever reason. I don't know why there are no numbers available, but he's going to have Todibo's number. That's a bit odd. I've never seen that before. Why wouldn't let me assign a number? But this Real Madrid team, I don't think, is as strong as it has been in recent years. Now, they do have Gabriel Barbosa up front. He's got 3 and 5 so far this season. Isco, we know well. Rodrigo seems to be developing all right. He's got 2 and 4. Pedrinho out on the right. And then Casemiro and Ruben Neves. Big signing, really. Then Nacho at left-back seems like a frailty. Ramos now is in his late 30s. Markovic also in central defence. Ricardo Pereira is a very good right-back. We know that. And Thibaut Courtois has his faults. So this is definitely a team that we can go out there and get a good result against. I think there's not many players that I'd swap out from their team into mine, and that says a lot when you feel confident about that. But here's Barrow back to Umtiti now. Matvienko being doubled up, but we just worked the ball over. Ter Stegen out to Skriniar. Ter Stegen again forward to Umtiti. Out to Matvienko. Skriniar. Just playing it around in defence here. We're taking a few chances. I'm not sure what the goal is, but Matvienko on the left flank. Plays it forward to Depay. Now Barrow back to Umtiti. Still with the defenders. We work it to the right hand side finally. And Dembele in behind. Griezmann is there. It's come back to Dembele. And there is Severo. And in his first El Clasico, he does score for Barcelona. 3 minutes in, we have got a lead that could be crucial. Opening up a 6-point lead at this point in the season would be enormous against Real Madrid, especially with Atletico Madrid having had a few defeats already. And Ousmane Dembele there with the Rabona pass to Severo, who gets his 5th goal of the season already for Barcelona, looking like an excellent signing for, I think it was about £29 million. Absolutely beautiful money. Now we have a throw-in. It's going to be Matvienko with the long throw. Into Memphis. It's cleared away Gray. Memphis in, and Severo's done it again. His 2nd goal. 12 minutes on the clock in the Santiago Bernabeu. And Gilberto Severo has 2 goals in El Clasico, becoming an absolute Barcelona legend already. And could he get another hat-trick here? And this first one against Real Madrid as well. Absolutely sensational stuff. Real Madrid do not know what has hit them in this game. We are 2-0 up. But here's Ruben Neves with a free kick, and he's just pulled it wide. I think he might have had Ter Stegen beaten there with that free kick. But right now we are absolutely on top. Markovic and Ramos seem very anxious, frustrated, going through all the emotions in defence. They're not happy with their team, and it seems to be spreading a little bit. Rodrigo there appearing with it as well. Half an hour in, we are in total control of El Clasico. We're starting to pick up some of those yellow cards now. And the most important thing is we're doing all of this without Lionel Messi as well. So we could be even more dangerous. A little highlight now. Can Real Madrid get one back just before half-time? Sergio Ramos has lost it to Griezmann. He's through on goal, Griezmann, and Courtois forced to tip that one over the crossbar. As we go in at half-time with a 2-0 lead away against Real Madrid. I don't think I expected this game to go as well as it has so far. And now we have a free kick. Memphis puts it in. Oh, it's an own goal. Svetozar Markovic has put it in his own net. It was a good free kick from Memphis, and at the back stick was Skriniar off the post, unfortunately, but then onto the defender. And it's now 3-0 in Real Madrid's own backyard. We have them absolutely beaten at this point, and it could get much, much worse. Here's Skriniar forward to Roberto. Over the top for Ousmane Dembele. He's got Griezmann ahead of him. He's trying to do it himself, but he can't get it past Courtois, who sends the ball out to Isco. Now Neves forward. Gabriel Barbosa out wide to Pedrinho. They might be able to get one back here. It's swung in. Roberto away. Now Umtiti. Works it forward to Memphis. Back to Matvienko. Umtiti. Back to Ter Stegen. I think there's another highlight in this. This is why it's still going. Skriniar forward. Now Dembele. Could play in behind for Griezmann, which he does. Griezmann in on goal. It's saved. Oh, he can't get from that angle. The ball was on the line when he hit it. That was always going to be near impossible to bend that round the post. But we are in a very, comfortable position here, and we can bring Henrique on for a little time in El Clasico. We've got a few other players we can look to bring on. Griezmann's not having the best time today. Roberto to Dembele, he's lost it. Rodrigo now forced to go backwards. Casemiro heads it on to Isco. There's a ball to play through there if he goes for it. Instead he's still running. Out to Ricardo Pereira. Gabriel Barbosa denied by Ter Stegen at the near post. Very good goalkeeping from Ter Stegen. Pedrinho puts it in, and it's over the top from Isco. So we're in a very good position still. Real Madrid still not able to break us down. Let's take Griezmann off and bring on Carlos Vinicius for a little bit of a run out in that advanced forward role. Then we can look to make maybe one more quick change. We've got players who do need to be rotated out. We can bring Longley on in that left back position. But 10 minutes to go. We have Real Madrid absolutely smashed in our first El Clasico. This is wonderful stuff. And it's been a long time since we lost a game now. If we can get it into November, it will be 2 full years since we have lost a game. Roberto beats his man, finds Vinicius, and he makes it 4-0 on his debut in El Clasico. 4-0, rubbing that salt into Real Madrid's wounds. Wonderful stuff. Barro over the top, showing his quality with that ball. Sergi Roberto then just beat the defender Nacho, found Vinicius, and there was a finish at the near post past Courtois for 4-0 against Real Madrid in the Santiago Bernabeu. Absolutely smashing them. There could be something else here. Longley sends it over to Dembele. It's into Vinicius again. Unfortunately for Real Madrid, it's gone over the bar, but they find themselves in 6th in the table, 6 points behind us at the top of La Liga, and that is exactly the start you would want to make to life at Barcelona. Tuchel, the Real Madrid manager, today not very happy as Severo continues his excellent form for us. 6 in 6 in La Liga. 2 of those are off the bench as well, which shows just how good he is. So 9 game unbeaten run in La Liga now, and a very, very strong start. So we'll go to the first Champions League game of our time at Barcelona, and then we'll wrap up the episode. So we're into this game now against Legia Sofia. Accidentally skipped right through and forgot I was supposed to be recording this episode, but nothing has happened so far, so it's okay. Not a lot of surprises in the team we put out there. Fati's playing, Henrique's playing, Todibo's playing. A little bit of change in defence. Gue's in there, Cucurella's in there. One interesting player to note in the Legia Sofia team is Christian Benteke is playing up front for them. Corner from Dembele to Todibo over the bar. But otherwise, there's not a lot of surprises. This should be an easy win, but at the moment, we are not really creating an awful lot of chances. We've had 15 shots. Severo with a free kick, just tipped wide, where I think it was going wide anyway. But the keeper did just want to get a hand on it. In it goes again, cleared away by that man Benteke. And now we've got a better positioned free kick. Severo will be over it again, trying to get his 7th goal in 7 games. And he's put it high and wide again. Not quite good enough with the efforts. And at half time, it is 0-0. Now, given it was only really the defence that was changed around, that doesn't really seem like it's good enough, as Gue does get an injury. We can bring Sergi Roberto on, so that's okay. Dembele seems to be struggling a little bit for fitness. Corner goes in from him, and Umtiti is brought down in the box. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a penalty. I don't think the referee needs to go and review the footage, but he's going to go and do it anyway, because we need to pad out the game time. He seems to be taking the long way around with that curve as well. Benteke committing the foul in the penalty area. I'm actually not sure who my penalty taker is without Messi on the pitch, but it is a penalty. And I think Benteke is going to get some sort of warning or yellow card. Obviously, this has to take as long as humanly possible. And it is going to be Griezmann on the penalty. Antoine Griezmann puts it straight down the middle. He missed his last penalty for us, but he's finished that one. Only his 4th goal of the season. He's not been prolific, given that the other 3 goals came in a hat-trick. So he's certainly not getting the 50 goals in a season we would maybe want him to be getting. But he has given us a very important goal to take the lead and break this team down a little bit. Now we can look to move around a few players here. I might move Griezmann off there and then bring on Vinicius up top. We do have other options as well. We could bring Longley on as well if we wanted to. but I think the team's reasonably satisfied. So Roberto here with the long throw into Vinicius, and he's done it again. That's 2 goals in 2 games, both off the bench. He gives us a bit of a cushion on our lead, and we are now 2-0 up away from home in the Champions League. Carlos Vinicius there with a very good header past the goalkeeper. That classic long throw routine working a treat for us again, and we are in a nice position heading into the last 10 minutes, especially so if Chelsea and Porto hold out to a draw. That puts us in a really nice position at the top of the group to start taking control and just really relax. Severa there with another free kick, that one tipped over by the goalkeeper though. Corner goes in, cleared away by Benteke again. Mateus Henrique with the ball, stolen off him by Kovalik, and then Henrique with the foul. That'll be a yellow card, I'm sure. But just 5 minutes of added time to see out, and we might have a little chance here right at the end. It's going to be Cucurella with the throwing. N'Golo Kante's just given Chelsea the lead, but Carlos Vinicius, a carbon copy repeat of his first goal of the night here as he gets a brace off the bench, but it's come from the other side this time. Cucurella with the throwing, keeper didn't get there, and Carlos Vinicius with pretty much an open goal to nod the ball in for 3-0. A very good performance, a very good second half performance, and it gives us the 3 points we need. It keeps us ahead of Chelsea as well, who just managed to steal that game at the end. Now, one thing I do want to do before we end this episode is just check on our old team Ajax, see how they're getting on. They've got Frank de Boer back in charge. Obviously, he had a successful run at the club previously, so he's come back. If we look at their senior squad schedule, they have now lost some games. They lost to Anderlecht 2-1. They also lost the Euro Super Cup to Harry Kane and Ruben Dias. 1-0 defeat there. But their Eredivisie campaign, after a pretty good start, they did require penalties to be finalled. So it's fair to say they're not going as smoothly as they maybe did when I was manager. A few closer games in there. Esposito still banging in the goals. Victor Osimhen appears to now play for PSV, which seems like a mistake when his only goal in his only game came against Ajax. That seems a little bit silly. But Justin Kluivert, Esposito, I would really love to bring Esposito to Barcelona. He feels like a Barcelona player. I will try to make that happen, but at the moment they want about 200 million for him, so we need to let Ajax sort of fail a little bit without us in charge, and then he might start to get frustrated at the club and ask to leave, because at the moment they are Dutch and European champions, and they were unbeaten for 12, 14 months or however long it was, so it might take a little bit of time just for those players to get a little bit unsettled. They are flushed with cash. Interested actually in their transfer history as well this season. No major signings coming in. Players going out though. Barrow to us. Macias to Atletico Madrid for £53 million. Harry Wilson to Everton for 11.25. But otherwise they've done well to hold on to their players. I can't believe they sold Macias. I probably would have gone in for him for 53 million. He doesn't seem to be having the best of time at Atletico Madrid. So maybe we might be able to steal them off him. Or steal him off them very cheaply at some point in the future. But what we'll do is play through a few games and then we'll pick up against Chelsea for the next episode. We'll do the double header against them, and otherwise we'll just play through these matches and hopefully retain our position at the top of La Liga. But if you enjoyed this El Clasico win against Real Madrid 4-0 at the Bernabeu, do drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new. But until next time, see ya.